This is your morning jolt, and no, it's not Friday. It's Monday again, and the markets are plunging. They were plunging Sunday night, and they're plunging even more on Monday. Why? Because obviously, right off the bat, story of the morning, Trump is ratcheting up his trade war talk against China, looking to potentially limit the investment by Chinese companies in U.S. tech, citing national security. And I got a great brought Kinsey Grant here. She's going to talk a little bit about the real-time effect of the trade war starting to play out.
Yeah, this is definitely a material, something coming out of this trade war right away. So here, Harley-Davidson put out a filing in with the SEC this morning that said that because of these tariffs on the EU, they could see a price for a motorcycle increase by $2,200, but they don't want to pass that on to consumers because they say it will detrimentally impact their business in the United States. So instead, they're going to shift some of their production for European-bound bikes out of the U.S. and back into some of those international markets. So they're going to need more money to ramp up production at some of these international facilities. But they said the tariff used to be about 6% on their bikes, and now it's 31%. And that's really impacting them this morning. Last I looked, stock was down 2.74%.
That's the last thing Harley needs. I mean, salesmen under pressure, phenomenal American company right there, but salesmen under pressure, that's the last thing you need. Kinsey Grant, thank you so much. Thanks. Appreciate it. And staying real quick on the story of the morning. I mean, a good point, a good note from strategist at TS Lombard, Chris Granville. He thinks as the election nears, we could see more rhetoric from the Trump administration as Trump just tries to win his trade war and get a lot of votes. And if that's the case, investors need to start preparing now for even lower market. On the street, floating around this morning, we have 50 stocks, a list of 50 stocks that might get shredded by U.S. trade war. Check it out. Those are the names you should be scouring. Second up, among the three stories of the morning, stock move of the morning, Campbell Soup. Shares of this dog are about 8% pre-market off a New York Post report that Kraft Heinz might be looking to buy the company. Kraft Heinz declined to comment to me on that report, saying do not comment on speculation rumors. Yeah, I get it. But Campbell Soup, as the streets Ron O has written repeatedly, any roadblock to a deal has a major impediment in the 42% stake that the Descendants family still owns. So it's going to be a tough sell getting Kraft Heinz to get the Campbell's business from those founders of the Descendant, especially when Kraft Heinz knows for cutting expenses. Now, I had Kraft Heinz CEO Bernardo Hees in the street a couple months ago. Very impressive executive. When he wants to get a deal done, he's going to get a deal done, even if that means he has to call up his best friend or one of his best friends in business, Warren Buffett, for financial backing and a little goodwill backing. I think Kraft Heinz is getting ready to make a deal before year end. It could be Campbell Soup or it could be even something bigger. Not too sure what, but it's happening. Last up, we'll end it on this. The bits and pieces section. There are over a dozen IPOs this week. A dozen. That's the most since June 2015, according to Bloomberg data. For me, an old retail stock analyst, BJ's Wholesale comes back to the market. I remember covering BJ's when they went private with Leonard Green a couple years ago. So it's interesting to see how they are ultimately received, but also how all of these IPOs are going to be received with the market under pressure. Keep a careful look on that. And be sure to sign up for the Morning Jolt newsletter down below. Hang in there. It's going to be a rocky week.